All right, welcome to another ILTACON Live here, live at ILTACON, as the name would suggest. We are here at National Harbor in the Gaylord at the biggest ILTACON ever, interestingly. And my name is Bob Ambrogi. I write a blog called Law Sites. I have a podcast called Law Next, and I'm here with Brad Sidwell from Intapp. Brad, how you doing?
Well, doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. How's the conference going for you so far? How are you doing?
It's just been tremendous. As you said, it's the largest, and you can feel it, right? You can feel the energy. You're walking up and down the halls, and you can absolutely see the amount of people that are here. Everyone with a smile on their face. 9 a.m. this morning, not so much. Now, great smile on their face. It's just been great.
Yeah. So somebody was saying they should have some sort of a hangover cure booth here or something.
But, perfect. Oxygen.
Anyway, so Brad, name, rank, serial number.
Sure.
What do you do? Who are you?
Absolutely. Brad Sidwell. I'm the technology strategist at Intapp for the legal industry. Spent 27 years as a CIO of law firms and an Intapp customer. So bring the customer perspective inside of Intapp. And I get to go around the world helping clients strategize on how to make best use of our products and how they fit into their larger portfolio and ecosystem of technology.
That's really interesting. So we are at a point right now, obviously, when I'm sure soon a lot of the questions you're getting or a lot of the strategic concerns your clients have to do with AI.
Absolutely.
Is that fair to say? Is that all you're talking about these days?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah.
And we at Intapp, when we started down this AI journey, actually was many years ago. We did machine learning inside of our products, which I guess you could call the beginning stages of AI back then. And we have now landed on what we call the applied AI concept, which is making sure that the AI we bring to the products is very specific to the use cases and tasks and workflows that already exist. We don't want someone searching for a way to use AI in our products. We're going to give them those inside the product and again in the tasks that they're already doing so they can get immediate ROI out of it.
So kind of transparent, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And very transparent to the point where anytime we're utilizing AI, we want to give them a visual clue as to what we're doing with that. We want to give them the grounding that we use to come up with that generative AI. And so they're starting to trust what we're doing and can give us feedback on whether we're right or wrong, and we can continue to build that trust.
Yeah, by a visual clue, you mean so that they are aware of the fact that AI is at
That's
work
exactly
here
right.
and what they're trying to do?
We use the color purple right now. We'll see if that lasts forever, but yeah, it's purple and it's bold right there on the screen.
Yeah. So can you give me an example of how you're doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we're doing this week is announcing our brand new Intapp Time version, and we have a feature in there called Quick Add, where you can dictate a time entry, and we will parse out that time entry, put the right client matter associated to it, and create a narrative based upon what you dictated. We want them to understand we created that narrative, and so right there underneath that narrative is that purple indicator that Intapp Assist created this. Let us know if it's right or wrong, edit it, verify it, and move on.
Is that narrative getting generated according to guidelines or something?
Absolutely. So we have two different guidelines that we're using. What we call the style and tonality of your firm. So for example, your firm may have a guideline that says first initial, last name, anytime you mention a name in a narrative. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that is the outside counsel guidelines, which is you can't use these words, you can't block bill. All of the narratives are then made compliant as we put them into the screen.
Yeah, and then what happens? So the AI is generating the narrative. The lawyer or whoever, timekeeper or whoever can go in and edit, correct, fix. I assume all of that.
Yeah, and then we learn from that.
Yeah. Right.
So if you didn't change anything, then we assume that was pretty good. So we're going to do something very similar next time. If you did change a few things, we're going to learn from that and make it very similar again.
Yeah. What else are you talking about? What else are you announcing here? What else is new with Intapp?
Yeah, so we also have a brand new version of our intake and conflict system. And there we've done a combination. Brand new user interface with all of the user design science behind it. We've done the one-way mirror where we watch people try to use the product. And then AI layered into that user interface. And so our big announcement this week is being able to take an email that talks about a new matter. And it starts down there with just a simple conversation of they have a new matter a client has a new matter they're interested in opening with a firm. And then as we all know, that chain starts and it's who's going to do the work, what rates are we going to charge, what jurisdictions are involved, what offices need to be involved. Drag that over into our intake system, we'll parse it out using the power of AI linguistics and fill out the new matter intake form for you, which right now is a huge manual process and burden for people to do.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious as you're talking about this stuff, because you said you've been in this industry, which say almost 30 years or something
32.
like that, CIO, we're working at Intapp. Somebody asked me earlier today, is any of this really new, or is it really different, or is it just the same old, what goes around comes around?
Yeah.
So what's your take on what's happening right now and where we are right now?
I think that a lot of the concepts that we're bringing to the table now are things that people have done on some very small scale in the past. So I mentioned we did some machine learning, but we did not have the compute power that AI brings, and we did not have the linguistics capability. I remember rewriting UIs in a different language, literally rewriting them. Now we flip a switch and the AI translates everything on the screen.
Right.
So not 100% new, but boy, the power of it is unprecedented. And then your ability to use that to solve real business challenges inside the products, I think, are unprecedented.
Yeah. As you talk to your customers around the world, are they more excited, more fearful about AI? What are you hearing from them about this?
It's interesting. I'll have to go back 32 years ago to start the answer to this. So my first job in law firms was, I was told, was to teach lawyers how to use computers. What I quickly realized was it was about convincing them to use computers. And as we went through that process, the back office systems, the administrative side of the law firms, is where the first compute ROI happened. We were able to do accounting better than we ever did before. We were able to do things in the back office better because we had a computer. Now, with the AI era, lawyers are clamoring for it, right? I wouldn't have a job trying to convince them to use AI, right? But firms have to do that in a measured way. You can't just roll out everything and anything. And I think that search for the ROI and making sure you're doing that in a secure, measured way on the lawyer side is something that people are cautious about. So they're excited, but they're cautious of making sure they do it the right way in the right time frames.
Yeah. So how do you think this kind of plays out? What do the next couple of years look like in terms of AI's impact, both on the business and practice side?
So I do think that we will see the same thing on the real true ROIs will first come on the business side. We talk to our folks that are in the general counsel's offices of the law firms, or folks who are doing lawyer innovation, and all of those things are so important to get right at the business level so that you can trust the processes and make those more efficient, give people the ability to do bigger, stronger, faster. And then and I think what that's going to lead to is the firm starting to have a culture of using machines to do work for them, and whether that's true AI or augmented AI, and then the lawyers are going to be able to sort of bring that into the practices. I think we're really close to the day when clients stop having an outside counsel guideline that says, "Thou shalt not use artificial intelligence on my matters." And when we get there, the other thing that we've heard over the years, right? Everyone wanted the holy grail of alternative billing, and I think we're going to get there sooner with this AI revolution, because you're doing an end-to-end task, not necessarily a minute-by-minute kind of thing manually.
So you're saying the billable hour is dead?
Nah, thank you, Bob. I do think that it'll be in the firm's best interest, which is always been the challenge, right? It was never in the firm's best interest to do task-based billing, because there was the fear that it was going to take them too long to do those tasks. And I think with AI, there's a real option that it's going to be in the firm's best interest to be able to value sell that work versus having to bill.
It seems inevitable. I mean, it really does seem, because it just, the billable hour, billing by the hour, billing by the minute, as you say, just doesn't make sense in the same way anymore. And especially, it's not even just the AI, but there's so much more emphasis now on workflow automation, on streamlining workflows so that you're not application switching and all of that. And as time becomes less a factor and knowledge becomes the greater factor, it just seems like that's where we're going to be going, right?
Well, and I think it's a great point, and I think as I think about even inside our own products, where we have this concept of zero entry, we want to stop people from having to type into the products and definitely not re-enter data. As lawyers start to push a button to generate 3 pages of content, yes, they're going to review it, human in the loop, they're going to make sure it's right and it's accurate and precedents are correct, but that's just a heck of a lot different sort of mentality of someone, whether it's a lawyer or someone else, is spending time typing 3 pages of content. And so I think we're gonna see it flip to being, this is the outcome I've given you, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, and make sure that I'm getting the value billed for that, not just for my time.
Yeah. What else has got you excited these days, or what else are you thinking about these days?
Yeah, so as I think about this new agentic world, as we start to really plan for how we are going to augment not just the workflows, but actually give people the power to do something they've never been able to do before. And it's not because they didn't want to or didn't have the skills, it just was too time consuming, or they couldn't search 6,000 websites all at once, or they couldn't go through the dictionary and find that one smoking gun. That to me is going to be the game changer. When we can actually empower people to accomplish things that they just couldn't do manually because of the onerous nature of what they were doing.
Yeah, and how far are we away from that really being?
Yeah, so selfishly because we on the business side mostly.
You can talk about Intapp, that's okay.
Right, that's right. Intapp being on the business side, I think we're really close. Because there are many of our clients who did that RPA stuff years ago, right, where they were automating these things, and agentic is just sort of the next revolution of that, I think. And so I think within 12 to 18 months, we're going to see true assistants who are agents inside of products and inside of the Microsoft graph that people can tell, go do these things for me and bring me back the result. I think we're close.
Yeah. I take it from what you've described about your job, you spend a lot of time talking to customers, and I don't know how much of your time you spend doing that, but it sounds like it's a big
100%.
100% of your time, okay. And so, and obviously you're talking to Intapp customers, but one of the things that's been really interesting to me, I think I've become more aware of it for some reason over the last year or so, because I've gone to a number of user conferences, is I kind of thought the cloud conversation was dead. And then I'm realizing it's nowhere near dead. And I'm kind of wondering what your perspective is on that.
So I had a session on Monday morning about the new cloud imperative. When we first did cloud, it was all about, you're not going to have a data center, you're going to save all this money. We're going to be able to provide you more updates quicker, and you're not going to have to install them. We're going to do that for you. And there are some folks who leaned into that, and there were some that said, I'm fine, I'm good over here. Now, as they think about how they're going to take advantage of especially agentic AI, that's just not an on-premises world. Right. It's just never going to be. And so that new imperative now is, okay, I didn't buy in when it was all about cost savings, but now in order for me to really enable my firm to do the things it needs to do with this latest version of technology, I've got to go to the cloud. And so we're working really hard to make sure that that is as smooth and seamless as possible. Not free, but less costly to be able to do those things. So our customers then are empowered to take advantage of the things that we're providing to them inside the products.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I've been hearing, is that the conversation is now pretty much exactly what you said. That if you want to be able to take advantage of these powerful new models, this powerful new technology, the only way to do it is to be in the cloud. You cannot do it in on-premises, and it does create, again, just what you just said, a new imperative for law firms to understand that.
And one of the interesting things, I've had this conversation a few times, it's not just about having an application that is a SaaS-based application. It's about the data being in a cloud provider that can be accessible by multiple products in different ways, in different vectors. And that's a challenge for some folks, because they've spent a lot of years making sure that their data was inside their four walls. Right. And they get very comfortable with that. Yeah. And so now they're going through a whole new re-engineering of thought, if you will, about how I can put that data in a place that's accessible and not lose sleep at night.
Yeah, and then the other point to that I often hear now is that as those clients, as those firms start to think about the fact that they need to put their data into a different environment, they realize it hasn't been as pristine as they thought it was all along in the first place, and that there needs to be some cleaning up going on there.
Well, and it's about quality of data, 100%, right? There's never been a truer statement today that garbage in equals garbage out, right? AI cannot deal with, it doesn't understand garbage data, it doesn't, and so it's just going to do what it does. But here's the other one that I've been hearing lately that so almost makes me shiver, honestly. Law firms talking about deleting work product from 10 years ago. We keep it forever. We never delete anything. But as soon as that AI sees something that's 10 years old, now you're going to get garbage out.
Yeah.
So you've got to either be able to filter it out, or now there's people are talking about deleting it. It's like, oh, what a change when we kept things for 30 years. But now because the AI needs that pristine data, we got to think about it differently.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else catching your attention here or in the world at large?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I've been doing this 32 years, right? So I've got some gray hair to prove it. What I love about...
I've outgrayed you a while ago.
What I love about this conference is I'm seeing the next generation of legal technologists, and they are some super smart people. And their energy and their curiosity has just got me excited for what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
As I think about leaving, whether it's 2 years or 5 years or 10 years from now, I just think that this new generation is really going to take the baton and do some great things going forward.
Yeah, have you been down the startup
I did,
alley
and that's,
over here?
Yeah, it's Adventures Alley over there, right? Or an Inventors Alley over there. It's just so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. I run a startup competition at ABA Tech Show.
Right.
So some of them I've seen before, some of them have been in my
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But just to go over there and talk, and like you say, I mean, the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm they bring, and some of them, 22 years old over there who like raising money and building businesses. So that's an exciting thing.
Well, one of the challenges we had back in the day, 32 years ago, was we always wanted a seat at the table, right? To make sure that the technology we were bringing to bear met a business need. These new generation of folks come at it from a business perspective.
Yeah.
Technology is just an enabler.
Yeah.
But they understand the business problems.
Yeah.
And they're coming at it from solving the business problems.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to just be dividend upon dividend as they go forward.
Yeah, well, not to go down the old timer road, but I mean, it was much more difficult to get even a technology business started in those days. I mean, it took a lot of capital, took a lot of resources. There was not a lot of different technology. There were a few big technology providers, and others would come along sooner or later. But now it's just a whole different world in terms of getting started down this path.
Even the cost of buying software that helped you do development 30 years ago, right? That's a whole different world now.
Yeah.
The publicly available code bases and code generators, and it's a totally different landscape for those folks. And I'm just super excited they're going to be able to do things faster and better than ever.
Yeah. Well, Brad, I don't know if they're going to pull the plug on us in a few minutes here, but anything else you wanted to talk about or chat about?
No, I would just encourage people as they think about what they see this week, whether it's from Intapp or other providers, don't always judge a book by its cover. Think about your business challenges. Give all of the vendors a chance to address those business challenges in a direct way. Some of these booth conversations can be awesome, but sometimes they're really quick. Follow up with the ones that were of interest to you. Give us that chance to really show you how we can make a difference in your business in a direct way, and I think all the vendors would appreciate that.
All right.
Yep. That's it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Great
Bob.
to talk to you, Brad.
Yeah, you too.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
You. Yeah.
That does it for this episode of ILTACON Live. This is Bob Ambrogi. Thanks for watching.
Wonderful.